Good morning, friends. Welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today I think this is a good spot to start. We're going to clean some beds up, particularly from that bridge. We'll swing around here. All that you see in the camera view, we're going to clean all that up to the moon gate. We do have some wicked weather coming in, so the high today is 64, I think, 65. The low is 32, and 32 is going to roll in here pretty quick. 34, pardon me. Anyways, a few degrees off, who cares, right? We're supposed to have snow around 12:30, 1 o'clock. By then, I will have these beds cleaned up, and I am going in the house for the rest of the day. I do want to share that if you did not see the last two videos that we put out, it was the making of this fence. Pretty simple videos, no more than 10 minutes, I believe. I think the longest one was 10 minutes and 2 seconds. So feel free to catch up. It's a simple project. Those little cedar posts, just putting a little interest back here. The charm will pop, I promise. Once spring starts happening, you can already see we've got a lot of ground cover there that is starting to wake up. So it's going to be interesting once we start pulling some of that out and popping some new stuff in. Cannot wait. We'll swing over there here on the other side here shortly. If you've been following me for any time this year, you've seen we've already cleaned up back by the chicken coop. We cleaned up by the little hobbit door. Can you see the sun back there? We've cleaned up back there, but we're going to go back there and revisit that area because now the hukra are starting to wake up pretty good. So I'm going to cut back the old and get ready for the new. Hey will probably keep me super entertained. Those of you who have asked about her chewing and that type of stuff, oh yeah, I'm fully aware, but hey, she's gonna be our garden dog. So she's actually currently got something in her mouth, piece of bark. But yes, we are all about making sure that she is. In fact, I'll be putting this video down here pretty quick to get that out of her mouth, but we don't want her to have any mishaps, but she's gonna have to learn the garden as well. So yeah, gonna be fun. We've got some things to keep away from her, but at the same time, I am so excited to get these beds cleaned up before the snow comes in, because I feel like I'm right on par. So if you keep a journal, I was a little bit ahead of time, but because I did the fence and I've been putting the chicken coop run together, I've now officially caught up with what my book says. So my journal told me that I was cleaning beds this time last couple of years, and that's right on par with spring break. That's when we start cleaning up here in 6A. Well, I do. 6A Eastern Kansas. So that being said, I'm going to get what's ever in her mouth out, and then we're going to kind of climb over here, get some beds cleaned up, and see how the day unfolds. Nope. Well, there's nothing really fun about a cleaning video, but could be entertaining with this little rascal in there. What are some things that you guys say? Those of you who know Frenchies or any kind of dog, we've talked about a few things that are poisonous to them. Obviously, daylilies. What are some things that way people who are tuning in can go in and look at that? I know you could easily Google it, but this is a fun little interaction. Time to look and see what's going on in the garden. And feel free to fill in what our four-legged pets may not or should not be chewing on. Also, I try to keep the bark and stuff out of her mouth so it doesn't get caught, but she's a puppy, so she's going to chew on everything. So we will be a partnership for sure this spring. Also, if you're wondering, I won't be, especially if you're new to gardening and you're saying, why are you not taking out all those leaves? Now, I'll put a layer of mulch over. What I'm trying to do is, I've got different hostas and stuff in here, and what I'll try to do is keep a lot of these leaves in here, but I don't want it buried so deep that once I put the layer of mulch on, it's just it's just excessive. And there's no way about it. This garden, some people don't want to mulch. This garden will get mulch. A lot of people will just use this as their mulch. I need it aesthetically. I think it looks so enhancing. So this garden will be layered and mulch, and then eventually it'll break down and feed the soil. I don't get the real heavy, bulky mulch. It'll break down over time, but it is not an option. This garden will definitely have it in here. And another fun thing that I enjoy about watching cleanup videos, and maybe you too, is that you get to see all the hardscape, right? You get to see the borders. Did you know I had a windmill back there? Probably not. It's made out of old iron stakes for railroad ties that they used to use. So there's a lot of interest that's buried in everyday flushed out gardens, and this garden has so much interest that if you follow along during these cleanup videos, you get to see all the different layers. This iris bed, obviously the bottom, the base doesn't like to be covered up, and nor does the so leaving all this in here would be not wise, as these really like all the sun they can get. And so I'm going to pull back all the leaves on these things. No. And hey, might help me, might not. I don't know. Okay, now I've got all these heuchera. Try to stay out of the light, but you can see this is all last year's. This is New Year's flush. You can see it's a darker purple. I'm just gonna go through here, or burgundy, I guess you said. Is that what I'd go with? I'm gonna cut back what I can, and some of it I can just pull, but some of it, I'm pretty delicate when it comes to our flowers. Like, I want all the stress to be gone when they start to flush out. I feel like when you start damaging and pulling and yanking, you don't have that much care for it. Like, you just want to get it cleaned up. I think a lot of times that's okay, but as well, I feel like in my mind, mentally, they're probably challenging their energy towards fixing things. So probably leave that one right there. I don't want to pull too much of the leafy material. I want to keep that in there. It's not very, this has only been here a year or so, so I want to kind of keep as much leaf material in here to break down and feed the plants, feed the soil. So a couple things about this area. One, this area is new, but two, it kind of took my imagination, and I was able to put it to use over here. This little hobbit door, I have no idea where all that came from, but it just kind of spiraled into its own little thing. It morphed into something bigger than I anticipated, and so I built this little area to cover up a bad spot underneath the honeysuckle on this back wall, and it actually had a lot of views for this channel, 100 and some, maybe 200. I'd have to go back and look. Don't hold me to what it is, but I believe it's over 100, which is fun, especially when you're trying to get out there in front of people. But that just meant there's a lot of you that have that same imagination, or like to see the creativity done in a garden. I don't think gardening always has to be X's and O's. You get to do your own thing. Personal preference, I suppose. And this little fence here with the barbed wire is so cute. When I put it up, I didn't know I was gonna have a hey one day, so we'll have to kind of keep an eye on her. But they're so resilient. They're not she's not going to run into this area too much. So I've been keeping a good eye on her. We've got heuchera in here. I've got ferns in here that I haven't yet woke up. Of course, I've got a hay in here. But we'll just cut this all back and get it really nice. Feel free to go back and look at that video from last spring, or no, might have been spring. And if I remember, I'll pop it in the link above or below. But man, that was a fun time to create this area and really just have fun with it. We've still got some more things to add to it, but the plants themselves makes me happy because I can really hear the wind. Clouds are starting to roll in. We talked about that earlier. It's going to be a day. We're going to have all kinds of different seasons in one day here in Kansas. I know a lot of you get that. But I can tell you right now that this area is going to look so nice come spring. And like I said, feel free to go look at a video. The soil just is raised up right here quite a bit. Not for any other reason, but aesthetically it looks so nice. And then it comes down. I have a bunch of maple trees, not a bunch, but I have 2 maple trees behind me that like to eat up all the minerals and liquids in or rain in the garden. Hey, what are you chewing on? And so by raising this up, they don't have to fight so much. These plants don't have to fight so much to get to those minerals. But my little fence here is just so freaking crazy. I love it. Who thought you could stick sticks in the ground and call it good? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? Okay, we kind of started out here, so why not end here? We talked about a couple weeks ago, or last week, cleaning up around the chicken coop, and then we just pulled back all the different layers back here. There's something fun about cleaning up a bed. If you're not a gardener but you like watching garden videos, yes, it's fun. It's relaxing and it's refreshing. But you can come through here and you can start to see. We'll do a video here before too long of everything that's kind of popping out of the ground. The thing that stands out the most right now, probably in the video, are the alliums. We've got those there, swing around here, and then you can see along this new fence, we've got them back there and right there. So on and so forth. We'll bring it back around here, and then you can see we made our way through, cleaned up all little areas. Those extension-cords run the pump back there for our water pump. I would assume the reservoir back there, it's underground right there. It's thawed out. I haven't turned it on this season yet. But then those wires won't be exposed right there. Right down here, in this creek area, we blew that out. I like to keep that fairly free of debris because this is where the water runs off into the garden. Those of you who have been with me, you know. Others try to catch up. If you want, you can go back and look at other videos, but the water will run off into this creek right here and then carry itself out and around through the garden, fill up little reservoirs, and then move on from there. If you're wondering what the water hose is in behind there, all the way through, that water hose I use as a drip hose for the most part. I just take old water hoses in the bed, and then I kind of string it out all the way through, connect it to another one. If the water pressure is good enough, you can do that with multiple. But then what I do is I just go through and drill holes in it. I will tell you, if that's a method that you decide to do and you're going to run out in your garden and start doing that, let me advise you to go through and use the smallest drill bit possible at the very beginning of the connection, and then the larger ones towards the end, because I did make a mistake and I just used the same drill bit all the way through, and unfortunately all the water in the very beginning water hoses sprayed out tremendously with the pressure that's right up front. But I think this was fun. It was a quick little video, quick little cleanup right through here. We'll start to pull back all the little layers. Things are starting to wake up. We'll go around to the other side of the garden and kind of make our way over. Actually, we could just do that right now, live. What I did decide to do, and you're wondering, somebody asked me, do you own a rake? Yes, I own a rake. I own multiple rakes, multiple different sizes. Right now, I'm just now starting to get out in the garden, so it's fun to get down in the dirt. You can hear Hey choking. She's not choking on anything, that's just what they do. It's gagging all over the place, but look how refreshing this area is, and before too long, all this will spill over. Oh yeah, I was talking about someone asking if I owned a rake. Hey, it's the beginning of the season. I like to get my hands dirty and get down there, and because I have bulbs and different things that are popping up, I don't want to just take a rake and start beating the ground up, so I pull a lot of the layers back, figure out what we've got under there. It's that simple. So yes, I use a rake, and no, I'm not offended or upset about it, but I just thought it was kind of cute. Let's see, so we got hydrangeas. You can see them in here. I've got them all over the place. I'm going to do a video just on hydrangeas alone. We'll cut those back, trim them back. I know there's a lot of confusion out there. Can I cut back the old wood? Does it bloom on old wood, new wood? But you can see all the different hydrangeas through there. I actually thought, on this, back to this little video right here, we've been talking about what we wanted to do. That noise in the background is Haster. But we talked about all kinds of different things, like a juga. A lot of you guys are talking about annuals for me using them. All these are wonderful ideas. Who knows what we end up with, but I'm thinking, what if we even used 1 foot sized mop head type hydrangeas and let them fold through here and blend them in with ferns and a juga and all the different things, and creeping Jenny and whatnots through there. Gosh darn, I'm excited about this because, again, it just gives me so many opportunities to come through here and see what it is that we want to do. That's why I like building a lot of these dwellings out here. This little funny shed here, it allows me to plant up around it and utilize plants and create a scene, create a little you know, a scene where I can come through here and just imagine different opportunities to use different plants, where sometimes some of those smaller annuals and perennials get kind of lost in the mix. Anyway, thank you guys again for watching another cleanup video. I know those are kind of boring, but there's something about the snapping of wood and the raking of legs, or lack thereof rake, using my hands to pull back the leaves. There's just something fun about it, and just exposing the ground and seeing what's alive and what's waking up. And if you're like me and you're a garden enthusiast, that sound is really fun. So anyway, rambling now. We'll talk to you guys on the flip side. Bye bye now.